Ravindra's English Tanglish video lessons welcomes you to watch Remember Caesar Video 3 Tamil Nadu Plus 2 English. So before we start the video, dear sirs, madams and friends, please help us by subscribing. Thank you. Lady Weston. About the 12th I should guess? Weston with meaning. It's the 15th of March. Lady Weston. Lord have mercy. Your good sister's birthday. And we haven't sent her much as a lily. Weston. I have deplored before, Francis, the incurable lightness of your mind. On the 15th of March, Caesar was murdered in the Forum. Lady Weston. Yes, of course, I remember. They couldn't stand his airs any longer. Lady Weston says it's the 12th, but Lord Weston says it's the 15th of March, trying his best to make her serious. But she says, oh, we've forgotten to send flowers to his sister's birthday. Weston gets angry and he tries to repeat that Caesar was murdered on the 15th of March. But again she goes on and says, I know the people who murdered him didn't like his behavior again, in a comical sense. Book reading. Weston reproving. He was a great man. Lady Weston kindly. Yes, my dear, I'm sure he was. Looking again at the scrap of paper. And is someone thinking of murdering you? Weston. Obviously. Lady Weston. I wonder someone hasn't done it long ago. Before the look of wonder can grow in his eye, a great many people must hate judges, and you are a strict judge, they say. Weston. It's the law that is strict. I'm a judge, my good Francis, not a juggler. I have never twisted the law to please the mob, and I shall not please them by dying on the day of their choice. Lady Weston. No, of course not. You shall not go out of the house today. A nice light dinner and a good glass of Weston. I have sent Roger to barricade all the doors, and I think it would be wise to close the ground floor shutters and see that they are not open for any. Finally, it looks like she understood him and looks at the paper again and asks, is someone trying to murder you? But in a low voice, funnily says, why hadn't they murdered him earlier? And then makes him happy by saying, since you are a strict judge, there should be many enemies or people who don't like you. So now the judge says he has always followed the law and he has not supported anyone. Also, he doesn't want to die for that. Now she tells him that don't go out today and just be in the house have a nice food. Weston is also pleased by her thinking, and he says he has sent Roger to close all the doors of the house. Weston. I have sent Roger to barricade all the doors, and I think it would be wise to close the ground floor shutters and see that they are not open for any. Lady Weston. Is it the French and the Dutch together you're expecting? And this is a morning. Mr. Gammon's boy comes with the groceries. How am I to? Weston. My dear, is a little pepper more to you than your husband's life? Lady Weston. It isn't a little pepper, it's a great deal of flour. And you would be the first person to complain if the bread were short or the gravy thin. Giving him back the paper. How do you know that the little paper was meant for you? Lord Weston wants the lady to be serious, but the lady is again comical and replies, "Are you expecting both the Dutch and the French?" She is little political here. The French have always fought against England, and the Dutch had been planning to attack Britain at that time. She doesn't finish there and says, "How am I to get the groceries for Mr. Gammon's delivery boy when he comes if you have locked all the doors?" And the husband asks if little Pepper is more important than his life. But she talks a bit practical. It's not about pepper, it's about flour for bread. And if the quality isn't good, only he would complain, giving him the paper. She asks him sensibly, how did he know the paper was for him? Book reading, Weston. Because it was in my pocket, and I found it there when I was looking for something to light my pipe. With meaning, there were no spills. Lady Weston, no spills? What, again? Richard, you smoke far too much. Weston, continuing hastily, it was slipped into my pocket by a man who brushed against me yesterday, a dark, lean fellow with an evil face. Lady Weston, I don't think he was very evil. Weston, what do you know about it? Sinking into the chair. Stop, Francis, stop. It upsets me too. Enter Roger, a little out of breath after his flying tour round the house. Weston, ah, Roger, have you seen to it at all? Every door barred, every window shut, all workmen out. Roger, a little embarrassed. Every door, except the kitchen one, my lord. Summary of book reading. Weston says it was in his pocket and he got it when he was searching for a lighter to smoke. And the lady doesn't listen and says, Richard, you're smoking a lot. Weston says the paper was put inside by a dark man who was very evil. His wife says that person wasn't evil. Weston understands he can't convince his wife, so he tells his wife, Frances, to stop. And he sits on the chair, a bit upset with her. At this time, Roger enters a bit tired after going around the house and closing doors. The Lord wants to confirm if everything was closed. Roger answers, yes, only one in the kitchen is not closed. Roger, a little embarrassed. Every door except the kitchen one, my lord. Weston, angry. And why not the kitchen one? Roger, stammering. The cook seemed to think, that is, she said. Weston, well, speak, man. What did she say, and how does what the cook thinks affect my order to bar the kitchen door? Roger, in a rush, the cook said she was a respectable woman and had never been behind the bars in her life, and she wasn't going to begin at her age, and she was quite capable of dealing with anyone who came to the kitchen door. Lord Weston is angry and wants to know why, to which Roger answers the cook did not want the door to be closed. Cooks had said she was a respectable woman, and at her age she was ready to face any person if they came to the kitchen door. Weston, tell her to pack her things and leave the house at once. Lady Weston, and who will cook your pet dishes? I shall also see that all the downstairs windows are shuttered, as you suggest. We can always haul the groceries through an upper window. Weston, controlling himself, I think that so frivolous a suggestion at so anxious a time is in poor taste, Francis, and unworthy of you. Lady Weston, did it appear frivolous to you? How strange! I had thought it odd to suggest the walls and yet leave openings in the roof that one could drive a coach and horses through. However, she comes back into the room, takes two candelabra from different places in the room, and goes to the door. Weston, what do you want with these? Lady Weston, if we are to be in darkness below, we shall want all the candles we can gather. Now, Lord Weston wants Roger to pack the cook out of the house immediately. His wife interrupts and asks him who's going to cook for him. She tells him maybe the groceries could come through the windows upstairs. Now Weston is too angry that his wife is worried about simple things like food, not life. The lady gives back, saying closing all windows and doors did not make any sense to her, and replies angrily, maybe he needs to close the roof opening through which a horse coach might enter. She goes around and picks some candles, and has been asked what's the need for that. She tells him if you're going to be below in darkness, we might need some candles. Thank you for listening. We will meet in the next part 4. So before we stop, please make sure also to check our Tamil summary of Remember Caesar video 3. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Take care.